Hi, everybody. Welcome back again to Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
I'm Antony.
Today, we're going to winter. It is, after all, December. And so we have chosen in our sports category a sport you may not have heard about. I had never heard about it before I read this article. So we hope you can learn and enjoy something new today.
我们今天要讲的主题呢是体育运动。那我不知道各位呢有没有参与过这样的体育运动哦？我自己本身也是第一次听到哦。我们今天讲的主题呢是 snow biking， 也就是我们中文讲的雪地单车。那它的 title 是 Snow Biking, the newest extreme sport。这个 extreme sport 就是极限运动。好，很多时候就这种有一点点危险又很刺激肾上腺素分泌的这种运动哦。那这个主题的话，你有机会可以看看我们这个杂志上面，你的这个雪地单车很特别的，我们今天也会顺便介绍一下它的外形等等。
And if you like excitement, if you like things which might make you afraid in the beginning, but you still want to try it, this snow biking is an exciting new way to enjoy the snowy mountains.
没错，在副标题上面我们看到 an exciting new way to enjoy the snowy mountains， 好，就是悠游雪山的新方式。另外我可以介绍另外一个词，就是 thrill seeker。thrill seeker，thrill 就是那种紧张刺激的感觉 ，seek 本身就是 S-E-E-K， 就是寻找。If you are a thrill seeker， 就是爱寻求刺激的那种人。有的时候你也会看到这样的这种文章里面会碰到这样的词汇。我们赶快来看看今天的文章吧。
Snow biking, the newest extreme sport. There's a new outdoor sport called snow biking for extreme sports athletes. Imagine a cross between a dirt bike and a snowmobile. Unlike snowmobiles, snow bikes are generally much lighter, and the narrow body is easier to ride. They were invented during World War II. However, the trend in snow biking didn't take off until 2009, when a group of motocross bikers in the U.S. began fitting dirt bikes with skis and snowmobile treads. In 2017, it was added for the first time to the X Games, a series of extreme sports events that includes skateboarding and snowboarding. Snow bikes have the frame and engine of a dirt bike, but a snow ski is used in place of the front tire. The back tire is switched for either a long or short snowmobile tread. If you're chasing speed, longer treads provide more push and stability. On the other hand, shorter treads are ideal for athletes who are eager to do jumps and perform tricks. The biggest challenge for snow bikers is finding places to ride, since the sport requires lots of snow and wide open areas. The mountains of the U.S., Canada, Russia, or Japan are popular choices. If you want to experience the excitement of riding a snow bike, pack your bags and prepare to travel.
Okay, let's begin at the beginning. There's a new outdoor sport called snow biking for extreme sports athletes. We've already explained this idea of extreme sports, something really thrilling and often with a little bit of real danger to it as well. Very often, if not all the time, these sports are outdoor sports. You have to go out to a river or into the mountains, maybe even in the desert, riding a very fast motorcycle in the desert, that kind of thing. These are extreme outdoor sports.
在这边这句话里面提到 outdoor 就是户外的。另外老师在介绍的时候还用到另外一个词叫做 thrilling。thrilling 的意思就是让人刺激、很兴奋的。在开场的时候，我不是提到 thrill seeker， 对不对？这个 thrill 再加上 ing 就变成一个形容词，就是形容这个 运动多么令人兴奋，让人肾上腺素喷发这样子。我们来看第一段的第一句话，他说 There's a new outdoor sport called snow biking for extreme sports athletes。好，在这里的话特别注意一下，这个 sports athlete 就是指的是这些extreme sports 指的是那个极限运动嘛 ，athlete 只是运动员。那 sports 这个字很多时候它加了 s 之后，它有点像是形容词一样。好，可以后面再放一个名词。整句话的意思就是有一项适合极限运动员的新户外的运动，称为雪地单车，也就是我们的主题哦。
Imagine a cross between a dirt bike and a snowmobile. A cross that's a cross because these two things meet in the center. But if you have a cross of two different sports, as we have here, it's a mixture of the two or a combination of the two. Now, a dirt bike is a fast and rather small motorcycle, and kids take it into the desert, as I mentioned before, or just into the countryside where there's fields, where there's dirt and plants and so on. And of course, a snowmobile is not an automobile, but it is a kind of platform like a motorcycle you can sit on, and it has skis under it. You can see it in the picture in the magazine, and you can attain very high speeds, so there's a little bit of danger to snowmobiling.
没有错。所以这边的话，我们来先看一下 Imagine a cross。老师刚刚解释到 cross 本来是十字架嘛，在这边的话，你看到一个十字中间有交集，所以它可以是 a mixture or a combination， 好，就是两件事情的这种交集。Between a dirt bike， 好 ，dirt bike 是什么呢 ？dirt bike 就是我们一般有时候看到那种越野摩托车。老师刚刚介绍说是在田野之间啊、沙漠里头啊那种轻型的那种摩托车。好，另外呢 ，and a snowmobile。snowmobile 就是雪地雪上摩托车，它本身的话是有些履带啊，或是一些其他的，你可能在电影里面都有看过。
Unlike snowmobiles, snow bikes are generally much lighter, and the narrow body is easier to ride. I already mentioned that the dirt bike is like a little motorcycle. It's somewhat smaller. Snowmobiles are much larger than the usual kind of motorcycle, and therefore they are heavier, whereas the dirt bikes are much lighter. And the dirt bike is not very broad or wide, so for people like me, it's harder to get on them.
OK， 老师讲了一个笑话，他说其实事实上这种 snow bike 或者是我们经常提到的那个 dirt bike， 它本身是比较小的。然后老师说，像老师这种吨位的人，他骑上去是有点困难啊。他在开玩笑，其实老师没那么重。OK， 这句话他讲说 ，unlike snowmobiles， 它不像是雪上摩托车那么重哦。Snow bikes are generally much lighter。我们今天讲的这个雪地单车呢，基本上是比较轻的。And the narrow body is easier to ride。它本身的那个狭窄的车身，好是更容易骑乘的，不会很笨重的感觉。
They were invented during World War II, depending on where you're talking about 1939 to 1945, some 80 years ago, was the last great war. When I say great war, I don't mean war is great, but this was big and involved most of the countries in the world in one way or another. That was World War II, and that's when snowmobiles were invented.
OK， 所以在这边这句话的话，你就知道一下哦，它是大概是在2次大战期间的时候被发明出来的。老师刚刚简单讲一下，看你是在哪个地方。如果是在亚洲啊，跟这个欧洲啊，他们算这个2次世界大战不太一样，但平均来讲应该是1939年到1945年这段期间。好，在这边的话，刚好雪地单车被发明出来了。
However, the trend in snow biking didn't take off until 2009, when a group of motocross bikers in the U.S. began fitting dirt bikes with skis and snowmobile treads. That's a long sentence. They were invented. However, the trend in snow biking, if there's a trend, it means development from one situation to another, from one kind into still another. If something takes off, it becomes popular very, very quickly. I remember, Madonna would be an example of that. She became so popular so fast, or Lady Gaga. Within just a couple of months, everyone in the world knew about them. Then we could say that's when those artists, when their careers took off.Yeah,
所以这边的话，老师解释一下 take off 的使用方式。take off 本来它的意思是这个飞机要起飞了，所以说一个人的事业开始起飞的时候，也可以使用 take off。如果说一个东西突然变得很兴盛、很流行起来，也可以用 take off。所以这边这句话他提到说 ，However, the trend in snow biking didn't take off until 2009。在2009年之后呢，才开始流行起来。所以1945年的时候，它这个世界上已经有这个雪地单车了。但是真正实行，大家开始流行骑这个雪地单车的话，是到2009年。老师刚刚提到马丹娜，甚至 Lady Gaga 女神卡卡的例子，突然之间几个月，好，全世界都知道他们了。你可以使用 take off their career took off， 用这种方式去表达突然之间他们流行起来的感觉。再来后面这个句子的话，老师再帮我们解答一下，就是2009年之后的后面的一段。
That's when a group of motocross bikers in the U.S. began fitting dirt bikes with skis and snowmobile treads. Because we're talking about snow biking, that's our sport for the month. And it was started in the U.S. with a group of motocross bikers.If I'm not mistaken, motocross bikers are people who love their motorcycles or motorbikes, as they call them, and they go through terrain which is much more difficult and sometimes dangerous than even if you're in a car or a truck. They use this terrain, T-E-R-R-A-I-N.T-E-R-R-A-I-N. That is how the land looks and what it has. Is it snow? Is it rocks? Is it wet like a jungle? Is it dry like a desert? These are different kinds of terrains, and motocross bikers love to take their moto-bikes out and have some dangerous fun.
所以这边老师提到这个 terrain 就是不同的地形，所以他那段时间里面非常非常多的这种摩托车骑士，他们喜欢挑战各式各样的地形，沙漠啦，或是丛林啦，或者是非常非常恐怖的崎岖的岩地啊等等，各式各样的那种地形，他们挑战，在这危险当中寻求快感。
Now, motocross bikers, as I mentioned, the desert or the plains or the jungle, but they couldn't do that with snow.And they said, why not? So they began fitting dirt bikes with skis and snowmobile treads. They said, we could change our little moto bike here. We can add, the tread will be the bottom that is a flat surface on the bottom, and skis as well, in order for these bikes to travel more easily.Or to travel at all across snowy terrain.
所以他今天的话想说，哎呀，这么多困难地形都挑战过了，那雪地上面我们这个东西不改装一下不行嘛？于是你看到后面他说 ，When a group of motocross bikers in the U.S. began fitting dirt bikes with skis and snowmobile treads， 所以他开始去改装他们的车子，然后前轮的部分可能改装的是有滑雪板 skis。然后呢，后轮的部分呢，加上了这个 snowmobile treads， 就是所谓的履带，它就变成是可以在雪地上滑行，又可以挑战雪地了。
In 2017, this is 8 years after it took off, it was added for the first time to the X Games, a series, and now we tell you what, I didn't know what it was, but yeah, when we read this, we now have an explanation of X Games.A series of extreme sports events that includes skateboarding and snowboarding. Skateboarding, you should know by now. If you don't do it yourself, you've seen it in the movies. Imagine just a board with wheels on it, usually 4, and you can go really fast, and then you can flip in the air and so on, do all these crazy but fun things. And snowboarding is, instead of skis, you have a board, like what do they have in the water?
The water like
in Hawaii.
Surfer.
That's it. Surfboard.
Surfboard.
Sorry, I couldn't think of that. Surfboard with wheels, and you can have a lot of fun on that too.
Yeah， 所以这边的话，你看到后面2017年的时候，它2009年兴起嘛，8年后2017年 ，it was added for the first time to the X Games。The X Games 指的是世界极限运动会，他们就还有成立的运动会，然后把这个项目加进了这个比赛项目里头。然后他告诉你说，a series of extreme sports events， 好，这是一连串的这种极限运动，其中包括了 that includes skateboarding。好 ，skateboarding 老师刚刚解释的就是我们所谓的滑板运动 ，and snowboarding 的话就是把那个轮子拿掉，好在雪上面滑那种单板滑雪的运动。
Okay, let's take a short break before we continue. Okay, let's continue talking about this extreme sport. Snow bikes have the frame and engine of a dirt bike, but a snow ski is used in place of the front tire. So we do start with the bike, the dirt bike. That's the main part of our new Frankenstein monster. But a snow ski, now snow skis are very, very different. They are long and very thin pieces of polished wood. And you've seen skiers go down mountains. I don't see how they do that, but they do. Instead of the front tire, this has no tire. It has the ski in front of it, which to me means on snow that it will go much faster than a dirt bike that has wheels.
没错，我们来先看第二段第一句话，先告诉你说 ，Snow bikes have the frame and engine of a dirt bike。它的骨架呢，它本身是使用越野摩托车的这种车架跟引擎，这个部分是有的。老师刚刚在解释的时候提到 Frankenstein's monster 指的就是科学怪人。好，科学怪人的话不是 Frankenstein， 那个是那个里面的科学家。所以你要讲那个真正的怪人拼装出来的怪人的话，你要讲 Frankenstein's monster， 这样才 OK。所以你可以想象一下，这个车就很像是拼装车，它把前面原本的 dirt bike 的那个前轮跟后轮拆掉，留下了骨架跟引擎。然后你看哦 ，But a snow ski is used in place of the front tire. The front tire 就是原本的这个前轮嘛，我们把轮子拆了，好 ，in place of 就是取代的意思。那我们使用什么东西呢 ？A snow ski 就是用滑雪板来取代原本的前轮，所以前轮的部分我们讲清楚了。那后面他告诉你后轮怎么办呢？
The back tire is switched for either a long or short snowmobile tread. We described tread in the first paragraph. And there's no tire on this machine. The snow bike has no tires because it's on snow. And they use either a long or short snowmobile tread, which allows the snowmobile to coast, to hug the snow on top of it without going under it.
没有错。所以这边的话，后面的后轮的部分 ，the back tire is switched， 好，就是 change 的意思 ，for either a long or a short snowmobile tread。这个它是可以选择换成这种雪地的雪上摩托车的这个履带，可以换长履带或者是短履带都可以，这样它就可以在雪上这样可以奔驰，而不会深深陷进雪里头。
Whether you choose a long or a short tread, that's what the next sentence will tell us about. If you're chasing speed, if you're trying to go as fast as you can, longer treads provide more push and stability. Well, that's good. At a high speed, if you're unstable, you can easily have an accident. On the other hand, shorter treads are ideal for athletes who are eager to do jumps and perform tricks. Now, that's not stable. In the first case, you want, how fast can I go? And you're going across on the snow. But others prefer the skateboarding experience where you flip around and hopefully land on your board instead of your head. That's the attraction for some people. That's why they're called extreme sports.
没错。所以这边的话，长履带跟短履带有各种不同的功能跟目的哦。还告诉你说，如果你是追求速度的人 ，if you're chasing speed。Long treads provide more push and stability. 好，意思就是说，今天你要选择说要速度快，然后呢，那这个长履带的话，它可以给你更多的这种推力，好，更多的马力更足，然后稳定度也高。但是另外呢 ，on the other hand， 另一方面呢 ，shorter treads， 好，短履带呢 are ideal for athletes who are eager to do jumps and perform tricks. 但如果你要特技表演，要感觉到就是说，我要像越野单车一样可以耍帅的，做一些那种特殊的那种技巧的时候，你需要选择短履带的。如果你今天讲到说 short treads are ideal， 就是完美、很理想的，去给那些 athletes who are eager to 很特别想要。很希望能够做什么事情 ，eager 本身就是那种很想要做某件事的意思。喜欢去表演的，喜欢去表演特技啊、跳跃的人，他们要选择短履带。
Okay, let's take a short break before we continue and finish today's article. Okay, welcome back, and let's finish up. The biggest challenge for snow bikers is finding places to ride since the sport requires lots of snow and wide open areas. Now, a challenge is something difficult that you decide to try to do. It can be as simple as learning a new language, that's challenging, or something physical like a new kind of sport that we're talking about today. Now, despite all the expense and time it will take to build your snow bike, another even more important problem is where am I going to use this? You cannot go down Fifth Avenue in New York on a snow bike. You should be way out in the countryside with the woods, the plains, hills, not mountains, but hills. You have to choose the right place or it will be really too dangerous.
没有错，所以现在东西都已经装配好了，你也有这个雪地单车了，还要找地方骑呀，对不对？好，在这里的话，第一句话告诉你说 ，The biggest challenge for snow bikers is finding places to ride since the sport requires lots of snow and wide open areas. 所以今天你要去碰到最大的挑战呢，就是你要去找地方可以骑，因为这项运动它需要非常非常多的雪，好，就是一定是冬天来做嘛。And wide open areas 需要非常广大的这个地方，可以让你去驰骋的。不然的话，你在这个老师刚刚提到的纽约第5大道，你在那边骑，要么就是马上被开单，而且你也骑不起来，对不对？所以要找一个空旷地，而且要有很多雪的地方，才能从事这项运动。
The mountains of the U.S., Canada, Russia, or Japan are popular choices. Probably one reason is the accommodations there are very developed, very advanced. So there are places to stay overnight and restaurants, and it's not the wild frontier.
没错，老师刚刚提到的 accommodations 就指住宿的意思，它的拼法呢是 ACCOMMODATION 再加上 S。好，还有特殊的地方是 A 的后面就是有2个 C、2个 O、2个 M。你如果说少了没有成3对的话，你一定就拼错了。好，再记得话特别注意一下这个小小的地方 ，accommodations 是住宿，在这些地方呢，好，他这边所举的像是美国啊、加拿大啊、俄羅斯啊，还有日本啊，他们可能在住宿这方面都是做的比较好。毕竟你要去一个空旷的场地，在乡间的话是比较需要这样子一些相关的配套的。
And these countries have lots of hospitals.
还有很多的医院，好，你就是如果出了事，马上可以送进去。
If you want to experience the excitement of riding a snow bike, pack your bags and prepare to travel. We described what the snow bike is like. It won't be cheap, and you've got to find the right place to do it. So that's a lot of planning and expense.
没错啊。最后这句话告诉你说了，如果你真的想体验一下雪地骑单车这种刺激感的话呢，好，它这边用到的是 excitement。好，那就赶快收拾行囊，准备出发咯。So pack your bags and prepare to travel.
That's it for today's sports lesson. Join us again. We're here for you several times every month. Until the next time,
bye bye.